Good morning. Bank Holiday Monday, the 1st of April 2024. The weather's not great. It was lovely yesterday, but I had other plans. It had been Easter Sunday and all that. However, my lovely bride is working today, so I've dropped her off at work and thought, do you know what? Let's get out on the bike. As you will see, I'm back on Cali because the weather's, it's not awful, light rain, it's just going to be a wet day, so let's get on Cali. Plus I've got all my bits I can charge, and as you can see I've got a USB charger there, goes into the bag, and then I have a battery pack, and then I feed everything into the battery pack, and the battery pack stays charged, and I can plug devices in and charge as we go, should we need them. So I'm heading west today, west Lancashire. For a while I've been toying with an idea of a series of videos to do, realising that most of my content is boring for most folks, and although I do these videos mainly for myself, and I've expressed that before, for me to look back on when the time comes that I can't ride, and also a bit of documenting who I am for future generations who might not get to meet me, for prosperity, to get to see who I was and what I'm about. I'm going to make a start, and what I wanted to do is have some rides around Lancashire and highlighting some of the things in Lancashire that, either if you're from Lancashire and you think, oh, it's not a great day, what can we go and do, take kids out somewhere, you might want to go and cover a couple of places that I've done, stay there. So we're just leaving Accrington, I've just come through Rishton. If I followed this road straight on, that'll take us into Great Harwood, but we're going to skip that, and we're going to take this left up here. If you turn right up that one, that takes you back through to Great Harwood. If we follow straight on, that would take us through to Whalley. However, we're not doing. I'm going to go past this res on the left here. Make us way into Wiltshire. And for anybody who doesn't know, this, although it's April, it's currently saying it's 6 degrees and it's raining. This is a fine Lancashire day. This is pretty much what it's like all the time. I tell lies, it's not all the time, but majority of the time. So we're coming up to this tricky little crossroads here, because it's like an offset crossroads, and when you're ever coming up that way, it can be a bit of a pain. As you see, that car's just done, because you're waiting at them lights on the hill, and then you've got to switch it round and then back up this one. Not the hardest junction, but not the easiest. But it's also, when do you indicate to turn right on this, right? So he's indicated to turn right there, which makes me think he's turning right. However, I'm not. So I'm going left, and then I'm indicating right to go around Winchester Road. Bit tricky that one, isn't it? Put visor back there. Out dogging. Another one out dogging. Alright, little doggy, with your suit on. Oh, another one out dogging. All's out dogging. Obviously, the clock's changed as well during the evening. Just creeping above 30 there, drop it down. And I've actually set Callie's clock. Clock's right for a change. Well, it says it's right. That's saying 9:44. That pulls it from GPS. That's saying 9:43, and that's set from me. I guess I got it wrong by a minute. Just alerting me to speed cameras. Need some brass to live out here, folk. Too rich for my blood. It's wet. I'm doing over 30, and then car rates up me chuff. What don't they get? I'm being a good boy. I often find this, when you're on the bike, people just automatically assume that you should be speeding. So we're just about to cross the A59, turning left to take us straight through to Preston. Turning right would take us back through Warley onto Clitheroe. And if we followed it on through to Skipton and Yorkshire and beyond. In fact, I believe you can follow that A59. It will take you all the way to Harrogate. I could be wrong. However, we're not. We're going straight on. Our destination is going to be via Ribchester. Ribchester was an old Roman fort. There is some ruins there. So I don't know if it was a fort or a garrison or... Anyway, there was a Roman settlement at Ribchester, and you can go and visit that, and it's free, I believe, to walk around and have a look. Ribchester's only a tiny little place. There's a couple of good eateries around Ribchester to have a spot of lunch. Maybe saved for nicer days than this, but you can go and visit the Roman Museum at Ribchester. And I think, and I could be wrong, and if I am, I'll edit this out so I don't look stupid. I'm almost sure there's a toy museum at Ribchester. Now, I need to check that, because that's just my memory telling me that. Museum of Childhood. There you go. I knew I wasn't far off the mark. Over the River Ribble. There's quite many spots along the River Ribble that are private fishing. The River Ribble, feeding the Ribble estuary. And we'll go out there someday where it joins the sea at Glasson Dock, which is a familiar stop for bikers. In fact, we might even make it out there today. Who knows? Gallows Lane. There's some cracking names of roads when you drive around. Out near Glasson Dock, where I just mentioned, there is one called Death Crash Corner. So we're just coming into Ribchester now. The Ribchester Arms. Stid Lane. There's a Stid glass house up there. My missus worked there when it first opened. And we've got their signs for the Roman Museum and chipping on the right. We're going to be turning right. Let's see if this camper van doesn't squash us. Oh dear me. So yeah, the Roman Museum on the left there. We're not going there today. We're heading up this way. And there's that sign what we all like to say. White circle, black diagonal stripe, which means you can do that. Yeah. Another dogger. As I say, it's not the best weather today. Roads are a bit greasy. As ever, take it easy. We're in no rush. No rush to get anywhere, no rush to get back. Just enjoy your time out. There we go. If we turn right here, that'll take us back the way we've come, back towards Clitheroe, but then also Hurst Green and Stonyhurst College, which is a Jesuit college, I think. A private boarding school for the likes of you and me. And I believe Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a pupil at that college. And you see, that's some dedication there. Getting out for a run when it's raining and wet. We're not going to go up Jeffrey Hill today. We'll save that for another day. We're going to follow this round. Just coming into Longridge. And we're following the road round. Up signpost Blackpool this way. Before the M55 were built, I'm guessing. Preston left, Chipping right with Beacon Fell. Broughton, Gorstang, straight on. And that is where we want to be going when bin chaps have moved. We're going to get rudely interrupted loads now by Gladys Garmin, the sat nav. We just put in the final destination. Well, not the final destination. The stops that we're going to. Out again. Gladys says this is a 40, and that red bit across the top there is saying, "Oh, watch out, because this is a popular spot for speed cameras." So let's just do what we're told, especially on a bank holiday. The good thing is it's raining, so they won't be picking on Marcus today. They won't expect us to be out. Happy days. Two-way traffic lights that aren't working. Lovely. Goose.
At the end of the street, turn left.
That's what Gladys says.
Turn left onto Whittingham Lane.
I'm just noticing, if that's reading right, that's looking my front tyre needs a little bit of air in it. We might have to sort that out while I'm out and about. Looking a bit low, is that? 26? Alright, might need a tad of air in it. Your passenger side brake lights out!
At the roundabout, take the second exit. At the roundabout, take the second exit to Whittingham Lane. In half a mile, turn right onto Woodplanton Lane.
Now I could have been cheeky and gone through Cycle Lane, right? Well, that's naughty. And I won't do things like that. Because I'm a good lad. Oh, easy there, fella.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right onto Woodplanton Lane. Turn right onto Woodplanton Lane.
Except it's not a right turn, is it, Gladys? It's just a bend.
In 1¼ miles, turn left onto B5 for 11. In 3/4 of a mile, turn left onto B5 for 11. Turn left onto B5 for 11. In half a mile, arrive at Woodplanton St Anne's Church of England Primary, on the right. Arriving at Woodplanton St Anne's Church of England Primary, on the right.
There's the wheat sheaf. Doesn't look open yet. That's no good. We can't have a small libation. However, this is where we're going. St Anne's Church of Woodplumpton. And there are the stocks, or if you're not a good lad, you end up in. So let's go see what we can see, and why are we here? Cut to the GoPro. So that is what we've come to see.
So we've made it to St Anne's Church in Woodplumpton, West Lancashire, and we've come for a special reason because Lancashire is synonymous with witches, and usually people talk about the Pendle Hill witches. However, a lesser known alleged witch is buried right here, and this is Meg Shelton. And on the little plaque it says, "The witch's grave. Beneath this stone lies the remains of Meg Shelton, alleged witch of Woodplumpton, buried in 1705. So 1705. And witchcraft rumours were rife. James I of England had just taken over the throne from Elizabeth, and he wrote his book on witchcraft, and he was obsessed with witchcraft, and he thought the witches had tried to shipwreck him. It's a whole different story sometime. It was around the time when people were switching from Catholicism to being Protestants. James I was a Catholic, but he took on the Protestant faith because of Elizabeth, yada, yada, all that history bit. So there was a lot of religious intolerance, shall we say, and people were trying to get on side with the king. So I'm Protestant now, but then there were still Catholic practices going on. And with these women who were accused of this witchcraft because they were still carrying on masses or whatever, and again, they were singled out by society because they were single females and they might have been widowed or whatever. So there's a big old debate about how these women were ill-treated and what happened to them. And this is one. So the rumour and the legend has it that Meg, amongst other things, she was a shapeshifter and she had Cuckoo Cottage. And again, the legend says that she was living there rent-free because she'd had a bet with the local landowner, and he bet her that he could catch her before she got back to Cuckoo Cottage. But she then transformed into a hare, and he set his hounds after her, and they were chasing through all these fields to get back to Cuckoo Cottage. And she just about made it, but before she made it in, one of the hounds nipped at her leg. And after that time, Meg was known to walk with a limp. She was also accused of being able to turn herself into a sack of grain to hide, because grain and milk used to disappear. And she could turn a goose into a milk urn, and loads of wonderful stories of things like that, of what she got up to. So she's known as the Hag of the Fylde. Now, why is it a boulder? So apparently, and also it's strange because she's buried in consecrated ground. Now, she was found dead in a cottage, pinned up against the wall, with a large barrel, supposedly an accident. So then they come and laid her to rest here, and they buried her. And then they come around the next morning and her body was lying at the side of the grave. So they reinterred her. And then the next morning, her body was lying at the side of the grave. So they actually called in a priest to exorcise the area, and he ordered that she be buried head first. So then if she scrabbled to get out, she'd be digging down, not digging back up. And then they put this large boulder on top to keep her in. And from that day forth, Meg has been in the ground. And now there's also another local legend that states if you stand the top of the stone, turn round 3 times, you can make a wish. So, shall we try that? I'm going to stand on top of the stone and turn round 3 times without falling. Is that 3 or 4? Let's just do one just in case. There we go. I'll make me wish now. I wish for my YouTube to get 1,000 subscribers and lots of likes. So, you know what to do. Hit subscribe, hit the like. So let's make us way back to the bike. And why don't you carry on joining me in my little trip around Lancashire.
So we're off on the road again, and just punched somewhere in where I think I'm going to take you to next. And I've told SatNav, find me the twisty route to get there. And it's only 20 odd miles away, but it's going to take me an hour on this route, it says. So hopefully it'll be a bit more of an entertaining route than just going via the A roads and the motorways. So we will see where we end up.
Turn right onto B5269. In 1¼ miles, turn left onto Woodplanton Lane. In 3/4 miles, turn left onto Woodplanton Lane. At the roundabout, take the second exit to Whittenham Lane. In 2½ miles, turn right onto Coomera Lane. In 1/4 mile, turn right onto Coomera Lane. At the roundabout, take the second exit to Kester Lane. In half a mile, keep right to Dilworth Lane. Keep right to Dilworth Lane. In 3/4 of a mile, keep right to B6245. Keep right to B6245. In 1 mile, turn right onto B6245. In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto B6245. Turn right onto B6245. In 1.5 miles, turn left onto Blackburn Road.
So this is bringing me back pretty much the same way as I came. So I've just remembered that I did say I was going to have a look at the tyre pressures, and because I got preoccupied with getting to the destination and messing about doing
mile,
that bit,
turn left after B Mill, then take the first right.
and I've just looked down and noticed that yes, my front tyre pressure is low. So what I'm going to do is, as we get down here, we should be able to pull into the pub car park, and I'm quickly going to sort out the tyre pressure. So back into Ribchester. So we'll pull into the pub car park at the Ribchester Arms, and I've got the portable tyre pump tucked neatly away in the, don't know if you can see that there, but you might be able to see them on that side. These crash bar bags, it should be charged up. So what we'll do is give it a quick blast. Why do they always do that? Oh, it's a motorbike. Can I go, oh, yeah, no.
Turn left onto Blackburn Road, then take the first right.
Always be careful when you're behind any sort of...
Turn right onto Blackburn Road.
...livestock trailer. I'm going to pull in here. Here I'll do. Quickly take the gloves off. Knock the engine off. With a bit of luck. Hit this side.
Recording.
Alright. Yeah, have a little pug, me, and I can't let her off lead. 15? He's doing alright, his lad. Well, they reckon 7 years, don't they, for a dog? So he's 100 years old. Aye. I don't think I'll be around at 100. Well, it was lovely yesterday, weren't it? Well, April showers, this, isn't it? But I always say it, well, you live in Lancashire. If you live in Lancashire, you've got to get used to it being wet. It's always raining. So what's your plans for today then? No, well, that's why I've just thought I'll get out on this while I can. Right. You can't, no. Yeah. No. We were the same, so she's working today, but she were off at weekend, and so we've been out in garden, tidying all stuff up, that it's like that time of year now, isn't it? And alright. And it gets just slutches out, doesn't it? Oh well, you have a lovely day. No, well, I'm same. Just out for a bit of a ride. Take care. There we go. Put a bit of tyre pressure back in.
Turn right onto B6245.
Back over Ribble.
In 4 miles, turn left onto Brownhill Drive.
Now, which way is it going to take us? Are we going to go straight on? I think so. Right, which way is it going to take us now? If you remember when we were coming, I said there's this little of a, not a bad junction, but it's not the best. So you have to wait at these lights here. We're not going that way. You've got to turn left and then like instantly turn right. However, we're going right. It's taking us back in towards Blackburn.
In a quarter of a mile, turn left onto Brownhill Drive. Turn left at the traffic light. Continue on Brownhill Drive. At the roundabout, take the 5th exit. At the roundabout, take the 5th exit to A678. Take the exit to A678, then enter the roundabout. At the roundabout, take the 1st exit to Whiteburg Road. In half a mile, keep right to Shadsworth Road. In a quarter of a mile, keep right to Shadsworth Road, then take the 1st left. Keep right to Shadsworth Road, then take the 1st left. Turn left onto Bank Lane. At the roundabout, take the 2nd exit. At the roundabout, take the 2nd exit to B6236. In 4 1/4 miles, turn right onto Blackburn Road.
Nickel bar lamp running loose.
In half a mile, turn right onto Blackburn Road. Turn right at the traffic light.
So just coming into Haslingden. In fact, coming up on the left is a place that me and our lass go to quite often, and the last Tapas Bar used to be a pub called Winkers Bar, and I got involved in a mass brawl back in the 80s in there. So I might just see if she fancies going for tea. I'll be contacting her shortly. She'll be finishing work. And I might just see if she fancies going up to Last Tapas for tea. Oh, what a good do. I do like a bit of Last Tapas. It's alright, it's like set price, and then you pick which tapas that you want, and then they bring you 4 or 5 dishes out, and then they come round and do another round and keep going. Good do. So this is Haslingden, and we're just about to drop down into Rottenstall, which is the destination we're headed to. And the reason why we're headed into Rottenstall is we're going to visit a place that once featured on the Hurry Bikers. And obviously with the sad passing of Dave Myers just recently, there's also having a Dave Day, and on the 8th of June there's a plan for a mass ride out going from London to Barrow-in-Furness, which is Dave Myers' hometown, and at the moment there's thousands of bikers saying they're going to be joining in. So they do have a Facebook group that they've formed, and Cy King and Lily, Dave's missus, are on board. Now unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be able to make that ride, because the 8th of June is when I'm returning back from Normandy on the ferry. So that's a Saturday the 8th of June, and my ferry is not due back until about 3 PM Saturday, and I'm presuming they're going to be setting off a lot earlier than that. My front wheel just feels a bit, pressure's right. So I doubt whether I'm going to be able to make it, although I've been involved in many a big ride, some as you well know.
At the roundabout, take the first exit to Haslingden Road.
And it'll be moving quite slow. Now whether we can catch up and make it to Barrow, I doubt it. So, although I'd like to be involved in that ride,
1.25 miles, turn right onto Bank Street.
although I'd like to be involved in that ride, it's looking like I can't make it. So what I was thinking this morning, where can I go and do a bit of a YouTube and add a bit of content to it? Because I get it, it's boring, right? Just watching me ride and listening to me waffle on. So I'm trying to think of adding extra content and visiting places and show you around my Lancashire, in the hopes that, you might just think, I'll go and do that myself, or if nothing else, show you what we've got. So one of the places that was featured in the Hairy Bikers a few years ago now, and it's here in Rottenstall, and it's the last original Temperance Bar. So the temperance movement was set up back in the day when everybody said the drinks were evil. So same as the Sally Army and General Booth and all that lot, where it's a temperance movement. So it's a non-alcohol bar where they do lots of different flavoured cordials and everything else, and you can get good old-fashioned sarsaparilla beer. So I remember as a lad, there was a stall in Blackburn on the market, and anybody watching this who's from that area and around my sort of age, back in the 70s, you could go and stand at the stall and get sarsaparilla beer and all sorts of other wonderful things. So I thought, why not have a little dalliance, right, and have a drink to Dave Myers, who's done a lot for the biking community, and the programmes were alright to watch as well. Never met the bloke, but by all accounts he was a right nice chap. So I won't be able to make it to the ride.
In 1/4 mile, turn right onto Bank Street.
So what I'm going to do is have a little drink at the Temperance Bar to Dave. In fact, I need to go straight on here, I think, because it's there on the corner. That little grey building.
At the traffic light.
That little grey building there is where we want to be. Now it's where can we go to park up? That's the thing. Can we get in there for parking? Oh, I reckon we can. So if we spin it around up here, watch where you're going, Cock. What we're going to do is snout behind us. I'll pull in here, let these go. Quickly spin it round, and we should. So if you're ever thinking of coming here,
turn left at the traffic light.
Rottenstall, Asda, it's a crossroad from Thasda. Right, do you know what? I'm going to go on this bit, and it's just there, that grey building, the Temperance Bar. So we're going to go and have a nosy in there. See if we can get a bit of video as well, eh? So there we go, Mr. Fitzpatrick's Temperance Bar, purveyors of fine vintage soft beverages and provisions. Britain's last original Temperance Bar. So we're going to have a look in here. Hiya. Yeah.
Nothing to sit in, I take away.
Sit in, please.
Take a seat anywhere.
Right, cheers.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
lovely. Do you know what? Every time I come, I have like a free drink to try. Do you know what you fancy?
Sarsaparilla beer.
Sarsaparilla?
Yeah.
Is it still hot, still sparkling? Some people literally just get a taste for it as their drink.
Try sparkling, please.
Sparkling?
Yeah.
Like a pint?
Yeah.
Yeah. Brill, you can bring that over to you.
Lovely. What, have we any food?
Yeah, we've got, is it savoury food or sweet food?
Savoury?
Savoury, yeah,
Yeah.
we've got toasted soup, sandwiches.
Yeah, have a ham sandwich,
Ham sandwich? On white or brown?
brown salad,
Brown, yeah.
bit of mustard.
Of course.
Brilliant.
Should work in a second for you.
Yeah, you're right.
Perfect. Do you need an email or text receipt?
That's okay.
I'll go to for.
The temperance movement began in Preston in 1835 during the period of the Industrial Revolution and was a response to the widespread alcoholism that existed at the time. The availability of cheap ale and gin had been responsible for the breakdown of family life and industrial productivity amongst the working classes. Prohibition was never legalised here, but non-alcoholic bars began to appear in every town and village to promote abstinence from the demon drink. The movement started and continued to blossom in the textile districts of Yorkshire and Lancashire, but quickly swept through the whole of the UK. It was a Methodist cheesemaker born in Preston who set about establishing a society under which a pledge of sobriety was taken. The society grew and expanded beyond the churches to become part of everyday life, for the now sober British temperance bars had become the new social scene. By the 1890s, temperance bars graced every high street, the most prominent being Mr Fitzpatrick's, a successful family of Dublin herbalists who established themselves in the north of England and at their peak successfully ran over 40 shops in the region. After World War II, interest in the pledge faded, and the end of prohibition in the United States and the heavy importation of sweet sugary drinks hitting our shores saw the decline of the temperance bar. It was also at one of the meetings in Preston where somebody who had taken the pledge was standing up and had a stutter and was about to say total abstinence, but went total, and that's where the phrase teetotal comes from.
So that was the little visit to Britain's oldest temperance bar. Lancashire's proud of the temperance movement. I abstained from the dirty alcohol for about 12 months myself. I now partake again of the odd libation, but now in moderation. And my big whiskey collection hasn't been touched in all that time, apart from special occasions. Let's go this way. So that was my little trip out on a cold and wet April the 1st, Bank Holiday Monday 2024. Not the greatest weather, but hey ho, if you've got the right gear, there's no such thing as bad weather. So we visited a couple of little places there in Lancashire. Woodplumpton, Meg Shelton's grave, and over to Rawtenstall. So anybody looking at it, it's spelt Rawton, R-A-W-T-E-N-S-T-A-L-L. But I don't know anybody who pronounces it as Rawtenstall. If you're from round these parts, that calls it Rawtenstall. And as we come back this way, we're going to go past an opening to, if you were going to take, to look up at one of 4 art installations throughout Lancashire, which we'll save for another day, and I'll do it all at once. Oh, look at them bloody puddles. Called the Panopticons. And there's one on top of Crown Point called the Singing Ringing Tree. There's one in Queen's Park called the Battery. There is one near Westthorne, I think. I can't remember the name of it at the minute, and it's like a great big egg with holes in. And then there's this one up here which is called the Halo, and it's on top of one of these hills. Like I said, we're not going to go today, but we will go another day. It's solar powered and wind powered as well, I believe, and then it lights up blue and it looks like a great big UFO from miles around. So it's always better going up to that one when it's dark. And what you do is go up that road there, keep following it round, takes you to the top of that hill. Lovely views out over the Rosendale Valley. You can even see the city of Manchester and the high rises just peeping over, and that's the halo, so we'll save that for another day. But that's pretty much it for today's little excursion, so thanks for joining me. Hopefully you made it all the way to the end and you enjoyed what you saw, and if you did enjoy it and you want to see more like it, then you've got to get me know by giving me a subscribe and a like. So hitting subscribe and hitting a like don't make much difference to you, but it does to my channel and the way that it all works with the analytics on YouTube. And the more comments and likes you get, they spread it about and share it with other people as well, so it helps my channel grow. So do a fella a favour, hit subscribe, hit like, and hopefully I can get to do these more regular.